Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your mid-month check-in. I'm just cleansing your space here and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I'm truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder that this is a general reading. It may not resonate for everybody, so please take what is for you and leave the rest behind. Let's get straight to it, my beautiful Scorpio. Hope you're enjoying the energy of the new moon in Leo. It's been very powerful these last couple of days. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know regarding this mid-month check-in? Can you please, straight away we have Temperance, Balance. We have the Lovers. Normally I take 3 here, but they want these last 2. Oh, I'm loving this energy. This is definitely a power read for you. We also have Strength card and the Sun card. Okay, so let's get straight to it. So you're moving forward. This is the protagonist energy. It's an energy of balance, of harmony, Sagittarian energy with this Temperance card. And it's about self-control, moderation. You recognize that you have to stop antagonizing yourself over something. There's some sort of anxiety that may have been going on perhaps in the last couple of months. I mean, that's an obvious thing to say, what's going on around the world at the moment. Everybody's a little bit anxious in places about certain things. But this is a transcendence energy, as you can see. It's overriding this anxiety and recognizing that in order to move forward, you need to follow your heart in balance, harmony, and it will lead to peace. Okay, so there may have been some sort of situation that's personal to you that you felt like you had no control over for a while, and now you're reclaiming your control over the situation. But you recognize that, you know, slowly you transcend this energy and move forward in an ascension. Okay, because you may have felt, I'm just getting this tipping of the balance, you know, 1 minute you feel like everything's okay, and the next minute you're flipped into an energy of being slightly off balance. Now we're going to go deeper and find out what we're dealing with here, but there's a slight suggestion that you may be resisting some sort of a romantic interest here, or a romantic path, because we have the Lovers in the antagonist position. I'm just going to take a look at this card a little bit deeper because they've asked me to, so I will. I'll give it to you before I go and have a look at it, which is now. Thank you. They've given me an indication of a love situation in the past where you felt, Scorpio, that someone preyed on your good kindness, your good heart. Someone took advantage of you. It left you very unbalanced. And it's like they triggered some sort of obsessive anxiety in you with regards to going forward in love. In some way, this person in the past may have chipped away at your confidence, but also damaged you in a way that it stopped you from releasing your heart to other people, okay, or finding love elsewhere. This person really did a bit of a number on you. And it's like, okay, thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. They're also indicating someone who gets very bad migraines. A lot of like electricity kind of, it's over the, let me just see. They're indicating it's over the left side, over the left eye. A lot of tension headaches, but in that particular place, okay? If you get tension headaches, I mean, that's a usual, typical thing there. But they're really indicating over the left eye, a lot of anxiety. It sort of comes out over your left eye, and it leads to a lot of pain. You may have to even lie down with that pain. Migraines is, yeah, what they're really highlighting here. Obviously, as long as you've seen you've seen someone about it, then of course that's fine. They're not indicating anything more than very strong migraines, but in itself is very painful. So they're just indicating that for me. But there is a question mark here, which you're now releasing, because you recognize that someone in the past really hurt you to the point where you sort of closed yourself off to other avenues of love. but now you're rebalancing the situation and moving forward, knowing your self-worth and knowing that you can control the situation. We have no control over how others treat us. What we do have control over is how we respond to it. Now we can rise above it. As you can see, this wonderful dove is rising above there, the heart fully emboldened there. It takes a lot of courage to override any pain and sort of move on and get back on the horse of love, as it were, is what they're giving me. That's a very strange way of putting it, but that's what they're giving me. It's like when you're knocked off, yes, it hurts, but you know, you got to get back on the horse, is the energy they're giving me. And you're recognizing that. You're recognizing that in some way, now you're not to blame, my beautiful Scorpio, whoever did this to you in the past. They will receive their karma. I fully expect to see that card turn up, the Justice card turning up in the reading. But what they're indicating here is that in some way you may have held yourself back because you felt like, no way, I'm never going to feel like that again. I'm doing me, I'm doing this. And you may have even ignored people who came forward to offer you their wonderful heart, but because of what happened in the past, you didn't trust it. Okay, is what they're giving me here. But with this Temperance energy, you're moving forward. This is a very powerful energy to be moving forward in because it's peace, it's harmony, it's a recalibration of the situation. Now we do have the Lovers card in the antagonist position, so that's why they're indicating that you may be pushing love or keeping love at a distance. Okay, now the tradition of this card is, it used to be called the Choice card. It's a Gemini energy, so it is a push and pull kind of energy with this choice. And it is about partnering up in the future with somebody. Someone may have come towards you offering their heart. You may even feel like this person is soulmate or twin flame, but they are indicating something here for me. It may be the same person who hurt your heart in the past. Now we're going to go deeper and find out, because that is a secondary energy they're giving me. The strongest energy they're giving me from this is it's about you thinking about calling in your soulmate in the future. Now you're looking at where you may be pushing people away, guarding your wonderful heart, because this is the energy to overcome. And it is about finding that deep love for another person. I mean, you have it in spades, Scorpio. You feel the depths of emotion down to the very core of your soul. But also you were given the gift of sight in a way where you can gauge human behavior before it even kind of manifests, because you have very strong links to your gut instinct. So where you can offer your full heart, you can also see the intentions of the other person. And sometimes it's like a moth to a flame. You love with deep, wild abandon, but at the same time, you recognize certain traits in people where they could hurt you. And sometimes you like, no, I'm not going to dip my toe in that. I'm moving back, because you weigh up whether the pain is worth it. Love is the most joyous, incredible thing on this planet, but it's also sometimes the most painful, and you recognize that. So you're weighing up something here. Is it worth it? Is it worth giving somebody another try? Now we're going to go deeper and find out about that energy, because as I said, it's a weaker secondary energy that they're giving me off this card. But also there is a stronger energy here is, am I ready to move forward and connect with another? Am I ready to put my heart on the line again for another person? Okay, now you're not putting your heart on the line for another person. They want to correct me there with that. What they're giving me here is, it is a cliched sentence, but this is what they're giving me. It is better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all. Okay, so no matter what situation you find yourself in, love is the key to everything. Okay, so even sometimes to our own detriment. And it is a painful energy, but what they're giving me here is you're weighing up something here. Should you resist this love connection, someone's coming on in here, or thinking about moving into some sort of partnership with somebody, strength together. Now this could be also partnership in business. You may be weighing up starting a business with somebody or connecting with an institution of some kind, some sort of, bank or college or some secondary party where you can rise up in the ranks. Okay, so it could be a business partnership also, but as I said, we're going to go deeper and find out there. Now, the unifying energy, Scorpio, I couldn't wish for a better unifying energy. The Strength card, Leo energy, especially since we got this new moon in Leo. It is super power energized reading. Strength card is knowing your worth. You know what you deserve and you know how hard you work. You also know the love you have to give, not only for yourself, but for others. So it's like a standing in your power kind of energy with this card. Self-love, self-respect, and the courage to not only have that energy for yourself, but to offer it up to others, and also to surrender to the universe, to the universe's will. That's a very powerful energy when we recognize that we can control certain aspects of our day-to-day, and it starts with how we perceive things and how we react to things. Okay, a peace comes with that when we know that that is the only thing that we really are truly in control of, how we respond to certain things that happen. Okay, so you're recognizing this wonderful surrender, and that you're co-creating with spirit for your most abundant, happy future. Okay, so this is the energy that is like the outcome energy, just so you are aware. With this Strength card, you're trusting in yourself, you're trusting in your intuition, you're trusting in your third eye, and they are indicating here that you are starting to open, slowly, Scorpio, slowly, but you are starting to open your wonderful heart. They're giving me a lotus flower, and it's almost like this lotus flower, if it was closed like this, one leaf at a time is starting to open. It's like you're peeking out now. Is it safe for me to love? Even in this crazy world that we're living in right now, is it truly safe for me to love? Well, you've recognized that love is the only way. That's the key to life. Okay, so this is wonderful, powerful energy. So the energy to overcome, if you're thinking about a partnership, it's looking like it is going to be very successful and will actually just energize you even further. You're surrendering to the fates, as it were, destiny as well. Now we have the Sun card crossing that Strength card. Double Leo energy. So powerful. You have no idea. The Sun is the most abundant outcome there could be. Happiness, joyous, successful outcome. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you're doing it with balance, harmony. Yes, there is a choice here about partnership, whether that's in love or business. As I said, we're going to go deeper. But it's almost like you'll be a shadow of yourself, and a good shadow at that. So, anything that was planted in the past that you had hoped for, dreams, wishes, that were you felt didn't come to fruition, there is still a growth period. Okay, interesting. They're actually showing me right now. They're showing me as if you cut a tree in half. They're showing me the rings of the tree, and what they're giving me in this energy is there is a wisdom since the beginning of a time that you have carried with you, and it feels now more than ever it has been activated. So throughout different lifetimes, you've got this wisdom, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And now is the ascension period where a lot of happiness surrounds you, and whatever it is you're trying to action there, it will be abundant and successful. You're glowing, you're energized. Okay. Interesting. They don't often give me this energy, but they're indicating, as you can see, there's a slight halo behind this figure's head there. They're indicating right now that you're not alone. I really feel it's like a spirit guide. We always have a spirit guide with us, of course, but you're really listening to your spirit guide. Your spirit guide is very close. to you during this period, and they're willing it on because they're so excited. They know how hard you have worked for this moment. They know, but both through healing and through hard work on the physical plane. But they know how much pain you suffered in the past and how deserving your beautiful heart is to receive this energized goodness from the universe. It's almost like a gift. It's almost like, wow, I want to pull back from that energy because I'm feeling quite emotional about it myself. The energy is that even your spirit guide cried with all the pain that you have had to suffer so far. But they knew that you had the strength to take it and to transcend it to the next level so that you could help not only yourself but others with either your stories of your plight, your personal story. You may be a writer or an artist or a musician or some sort of somebody who uses what happened in their life and transcends that in order to inform others so that they can identify and feel like they're not alone. Okay, that's the energy that I've got coming through here as well. Or if you've been thinking about doing that, then they're giving a massive thumbs up. Then that is the way not only to overcome your experience, but also to help others. So they just want you to be aware that you are not alone during this time, and that now is the time. The unifying energy is so much strength, so much courage. The endurance that you had will lead to this wonderful, successful, happy outcome. Now we're going to the Good Tarot by Colette Baron-Reid to gauge a little bit more detail of what they'd like to tell you. Oh, okay, Seven of Water. Yeah, look at that. I mean, you can't write that. As I said, you got a choice here. Seven of Water is the Seven of Cups. There's some choices to be made, okay? So they're just indicating that you're going to make a balanced choice here because it is over that temperance, and whichever choice you make, it does lead to harmony because you're making it in the right headspace at this present time. Now when we have the Seven of Water in this particular deck, this is about imagination, using that wonderful imagination of yours to call in abundance, and whatever artistic endeavors you're co-creating with spirit here, you have the talent, you have the abilities, and they're being unleashed into many different arenas to call forth your abundance. So you have a choice of a few avenues in which you could explore on a creative level in order to bring in your hopes and dreams. When you get this card, it's asking you to also remain flexible, okay? Because when a lot of opportunities come your way, sometimes we choose one over another, and we need to recognize that the power of all possibilities can actually bring you forward. Now they're indicating a sentence which is Jack of all trades, master of none. They want you to dismiss that. Whatever you're good at, keep on doing it, no matter what anybody has said to you. Okay, if someone's asked you to focus on one thing in particular to get good at it, why? Variety is the spice of life, and you can actually build castles in the air. If you can see it in your mind, you can have it in your hand. Okay, so there's a lot of creative opportunities around you at this moment in time, but there is a choice here. Now, they've asked me to look at it a little bit closer, so I will. Okay, so they're indicating one energy for me, which is, oh wow, look at that flower. They just said, imagination is the seat of all creation. Okay, Scorpio, so remember how energized you are to the universe at the moment. You're in that, almost like that magician mode, okay? So you're turning visions into reality. Remember, your imagination is very important. If you can see it, and I mean really see it, you know, when I have my visualizations, if you can, not everybody can, but you can work on it, and somehow, you know, I had to work on it at first. See your visions as if it's on like a film screen, you know, like you're at the movies. See yourself in that screen doing what you are trying to achieve, and then you will actually physically manifest it on the material plane. But they're indicating something about plenty of fish in the sea. So I myself are connecting that in terms of love. So you may be having some sort of choice about a romantic interest, and your mindset is very balanced, and it is kind of like plenty more fish in the sea. And the energy is, if it works out, it works out. If not, there'll be somebody else who is an incredible human who will not treat you in the same way or give you any anxiety. If it is a past person who's coming back, I just want to clarify that, because not every energy I'm getting at the moment is a return from somebody in the past. They really want you to listen to your instincts, because they're highlighting this shell for me. And when we get shells, it's about listening, deep listening to your inner guides, to your soul there. But there is a choice on the board. But as you can see, that flower in that card, it's opening slowly, and water is about emotions, okay? So whereas it had been closed before, it feels very much like you're in the blooming stage. You're recognizing Three of Water. Just to let you know, we don't take any reversals in this deck. It is uprights only. That's the stipulation of this particular deck by Colette Baron-Reid, just in case you're thinking, she got it in reverse, she's not reading it in reverse. So we got the Three of Water, okay? Another water element here. So we're really dealing with the emotional side here. In terms of love is what I'm getting. Now, this is a celebration card, okay? This is about enjoying people again, as it were, team spirit. It's about sharing whatever exuberance that you have for life with other people. As I said, you've got this wonderful energy here that whatever it is you do in some way helps others. You may not even know or feel that you're helping others, but by giving your wonderful time, energy, advice, all of those wonderful things, you're actually very wise, and people do take on board a lot of what you say, because it feels like, Scorpio, you know, you've been here before, so you come with a lot of wisdom. So this is about extending yourself for a common goal of love, friendship, and joy. But it feels like everybody in your team has a common goal. So they're indicating here, because it's over the Lovers card, you may have a question about someone in your friendship group or your soul tribe in terms of love. Like, could this be a thing in terms of romance? Or is it, you know, it's about partnering up with somebody that is not just your lover, is someone who is your friend, okay? It's about building that foundation, a circle of support in a love connection. You may even be wondering if you keep someone as a friend instead of a love relationship, because you don't want to, in some way, mess it up. That's the energy, because this is very much a friendship card, you know, a celebration, a circle of support kind of energy. And everyone comes with a lot of wisdom. So the wisdom here is, because it's over the Lovers and you may have a choice, you may be wondering if you should venture into a romantic partnership or a business partnership with someone who is a friend or a family member or someone in your soul tribe. Because when it comes to the water, your emotions are invested. And when it comes to partnerships, a lot is at stake, and you don't want to in some way change the dynamics of that friendship or that partnership or that you know, connection with that person. So there's a big question mark over this here for you, Scorpio. And we have Four of Fire. Loving this energy. Four of Fire, very passionate energy. When we're dealing with fire there, it's like wands. So it's whatever you're trying to achieve with strong emotion and passion, whatever sets your soul on fire, it's about celebrating this. And yeah, it's very creative energy here. When we get, it's like a new creative phase for you. You're starting to see how your wonderful light can affect others. It's so interesting, because this little fairy or angel is playing a flute, and they're indicating here that you have a lot of influence. Okay, you play the flute and others follow, and not in an egotistical way. Okay, Four of Wands is the equivalent of Four of Fire, and it's about people coming together and celebrating your wonderful self. Now, these people could be celebrating something in business, some sort of decision you make in business, and it starts to be successful. Four is about foundation, so you're laying a very successful foundation here where everybody comes together and celebrates your wonderful self. This is a card, when you get this card in this particular deck, it's about artistic people, singers, musicians, dancers, everybody creating this wonderful world where the vibrations are in sync with the universe and also in sync with your desires, and they raise each other up, as it were. You make magic together, and everything you're trying to create on the physical plane starts to manifest and leads to a lot of emotional but also material abundance, as long as you follow your passions, follow your heart. Now, they're also indicating, because this is the Four of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, that's my halfway to marriage card. So you're weighing up some sort of partnership, whether it's in business, to build something that is going to lead to a lot of growth, following your passions, and be very successful, or it's about having this partnership with somebody that leads to marriage. You may have met someone and because Scorpio, we often just know. When someone is the one, we know it on first sight. It's just, I don't know, I can't even explain that. It's just a knowingness that we have. And you may have had this thought for quite some time, but somehow there is a resistance here. Now, again, it could be because this person in the past has left you with a lot of unbalance and disharmony in your life. Because when we get that Lover's card in the reverse, there is regret. When it's in this position, it's like it's in the reverse, okay? So it is a resistance energy, but also it's like you got it flipped. You may have separated from this person. There may have been a breakup. There may have been arguments, discord, regrets, bad choices. And it is a coming together when you have that Three of Water. So that's why I'm indicating some sort of return or of a past person that you feel deep down was always meant to be the one. Okay, now this may not be someone who caused you pain, but someone from your past in some way is returning to your life, and you feel like this could lead to a higher level commitment, because the Four of Fire is the Four of Wands, which is that halfway to marriage. It is a higher level commitment, engagement, that sort of thing. And you also have the Strength card, you have the Sun card. So this time you know your worth. This time you know what you bring to the table, and the desired outcome will happen, which is the Sun card, a happy outcome all round. So that Four of Fire is very powerful. So you're trying to weigh something up here. We're going to go deeper and take a couple of cards from the Light Seers Tarot, so they can give me a little bit more detail of what we're dealing with here. But it really feels you want to resist this person as long as possible because you're not sure. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? Oh, wow. So we have the Emperor. So this is Aries energy. Now, I'm getting a two-way energy here. This is you at the top of your game. Emperor is entrepreneurial. So if you're starting a business and thinking about partnering with somebody else, you're leading with good business skills. You're being strategic, you're planning, you know your shit, okay? And you also are respecting other people's advice. So you may be going to someone who has an Aries placement for some sort of advice. Either way, you're playing the game really well, the game of business, and you're making your strategic move, but you've got some choices to make before you partner up with either somebody. Now, this could be you partnering up with an accountant. It could be you partnering up with, some sort of advisor, or a person who's going to invest in a business with you. You're making good moves here, and you have got good business head on you as you move forward with this. Now, also with that Emperor card, you could be leading forward, getting advice from people at the top of their game so that you can make the next move in your business, okay? Even though this is an Aries card, they're really highlighting the moon. The new moon in Leo right now, I think it happened yesterday. Very, very powerful energy. So this is, you're being energized to move forward with this. And and you're really taking a lot of interest in what your spirit guides and your instinct is saying. You're just waiting for the right moment, perhaps, to move forward. But also, if this is in love, I mean, it feels like you don't want to make a false move. Okay? You know where you're at. You're at the top of your game. You may have an Aries placement yourself there, and you've got a lot of respect for this person, despite what they did. Or this person, if this is a new person that's come on in, you got a lot of respect for them, but you're wondering, is it a wise move to partner up with this person? Am I falling into old habits? Now, you're leading forth with harmony. You're not the same person you were, but they are indicating that you may even be waiting for the other person to move first, Scorpio, and show you, because you're in poker face kind of mode. Show me your cards before I show you mine, okay? Because before you showed your cards, Scorpio, and then they either didn't reciprocate, or they they left you with a question mark, is what they're giving me. Now, because this is a major quickie check-in, I'm only getting surface energy, but it seems like you're waiting to really make this choice here. How would you like to receive? Okay, they said in reverse. Is this the way? Okay. So, oh my gosh. Oh, you cannot write this. This is incredible. In reverse, yes. They want. I get an indication. They give me a breeze on my arm to indicate what they want to tell me. Oh, look at this. Look at this. So we have the Lovers in reverse. It is crossing the Lovers that would be in reverse if I turned it in the right way. By that I mean, as I said, this resistance energy, you may as well take it in reverse. So as you can see here, you feel like you made some bad choices in love. You regret a lot of things, but so does this person. Okay, this person regrets the breakup, whatever it was that led you both to be apart. It feels like both of you had a game face on in the past, and in some way you ended up hurting each other because you were too scared to give over to the connection. You did not express how you truly felt, Scorpio, and neither did they. You may have given an indication, you may have given more than they did, but they were acting in low vibe. They really regret what they did. And I feel like they're coming on in to discuss this with you. And they're going to open it up like, Scorpio, you're the only person I've ever known who makes me feel like this. I feel like you're twin flame. I feel like you're my soulmate. I feel like you're the one. And you're like, I don't know. I'm not so sure. Let me just go away and think about that. So I feel like you may be being silent to this person. If this person comes on in, there is an aloofness here. You're trying to get a balanced decision because you don't want to lead with your emotions. You don't want to lead with your heart, because before you made choices with your heart and you got burnt. So your greatest asset, Scorpio, is what they're giving me, is your heart. So do engage it when you're thinking, but also I can see why you would want to resist this energy, because who wants to get back on the same horse that may want to hurt you again? Okay, it seems like, I'm going to pull a card on it. We have an Ace of Cups. Okay, Ace of Cups is in the reverse. So you felt let down by this person. Okay, very disappointed in this situation, and you're going after your happiness now. You know, you're going after, you know your worth. So why would you want to be disappointed again by somebody who just comes with the same energy? You may be even feeling that you're choosing a career path, a passion path over this person because money never hurt you. A career buzz never hurt you. It left you wanting to strive for more and be better, of course, but it never turned around and broke your heart. And this person did. So you may be choosing to go for that instead, because there is an indication here that you you don't feel like this connection could lead to marriage or a higher level commitment, because you're so let down by this person. Now we're going to go and get a clarifier for this. I just want to see an outcome, because it feels like your choices, you know, it looks like, Scorpio, you're going to choose to walk away from this person. Okay, that's my indication here. So I'm just going to clarify that. Do you want that? No. I'm just going to clarify that before we go. They've asked me to stay silent, so I will. One moment, please. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. Oof. I hate it when they do it like this and you're like, which way? Which way? Okay, they want it this way. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. So we have the 10 of Wands here, and it is in the reverse. It's clarifying this this antagonist energy, and it's about the freedom of finally saying no. I'm not taking the same BS as before. I'm taking a break. I'm thinking about it. I'm lightening up. You know, we both had a choice in this. We both made some fair decisions, some unfair decisions. Both of us were unkind in situations. They seem to, I'm getting an energy that they seem to have done the number on you, but you have transcended now. You're more evolved in the situation, emotionally and in terms of maturity. So you're leading with passion, but you've got a peace to actually stand your ground, say, I'm sorry, nope. That's the energy I'm getting here. But they're asking you to lighten up about the situation also, because this person, they were self-sabotaging and they did not want to do that. They don't want to do that anymore. We have the 5 of Swords. It's in reverse. So when we get that 5 of Swords in reverse, it indicates there is a time of peace after being caught at something. So this person wants to make amends. They don't want to self-sabotage anymore. They actually are coming on in. They're suggesting they're coming on in to offer a hand of friendship, a hand of peace. They want to resolve their conscience, I'm getting. But they feel in some way, Scorpio, get this. I'm not sure I agree with this. Cross watchers, don't hate, but I'm not sure I agree with the energy they're giving me, but this is what they're giving me. This person you're dealing with, Scorpio, in some way feels like it was a fair fight. Now, I'm not sure I agree with that. But anyway, okay. So what they're indicating here is they may have done, this person that you're dealing with here did something wrong. They may have, when we have that 5, they may have been verbally abusive, told you things to make you feel bad about yourself, because they did not feel like they were enough, so they were projecting. They may have in some way withheld information. They were definitely sabotaging the connection on purpose, because they couldn't communicate how they really felt to anybody. They were acting in low vibe, but there was a lot of trauma here as well, they're giving me. They had a lot of obstacles to overcome. They just did not want to deal with them. And you showed them a mirror of who they were, and they ran away because they didn't want to see who they truly are. So before they left, though, they tried to make you feel like you were nothing. That's the indication they're giving me here. So this person, though, they encountered the wrath of a Scorpio. Now, sometimes wrath comes in silence, and this person feels like they need attention. They need an ego rub, and your silence is legendary. So they feel it was fair because in some way you went really silent on them. You could have even like given them a little taste of your Scorpio nuclear, well, I was going to say nuclear power kind of anger. The evolved Scorpios didn't. They retracted in silence. But they feel like whatever happened here, it was balanced. I don't feel like that way. Okay? But they want to come and they want to make peace. Okay? They've asked to go again. I'm not sure why. I would just leave it there, but this is what they're giving me. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay. Oh, they said this is the end, so definitely the end. There we go. Oh, Scorpio. Oh, how do we do this? I don't know. Well, anyway, they're indicating two things. One is investing in yourself. Okay, we have that Seven of Pentacles. When we got that Seven of Pentacles, this is about patience and hard work will lead to success. Now, this person has been also doing the work. They've been investing in themselves. Okay, they want to lighten up about the connection also. They are coming in to offer some sort of friendship at first. I don't see an apology on this board, Scorpio. So, I mean, you know what to do if no apology is coming on in. But we have this Seven of Pentacles, which means this person has been working hard. They may have, they may be waiting for the right opportunity to come forward and offer their cup of love, but they're not ready at all. Okay, because that Ace of Cups has turned up. They see you. Now, male or female, this is not a gender-specific reading. They see you as their wish fulfillment. You are the best of the best. Okay, and that's why, finally, they're having some sort of ascension here. They've also got a choice, and they've chosen to work on themselves to come in and, in some way, claim. I don't think they can do that though. Claim their prize. They feel like they missed an opportunity with you there. But this is you. This is you, as I said, standing in your power. You are all abundant. You're doing wonderful creative things. You're growing your business or your prosperity path, and you know your worth. Your boundaries are high. Everything around you, because you're a good soul and you're a good person and you led with integrity, everything around you is growing and healthy and lush. And this person, they can't hold a candle to you, but they're trying. They want to try. They want to invest in something that leads to some successful union. But you have the choice. Okay? So it does indicate here that you're still up in your head about it. You're resisting making the choice, and that resistance may come from, it feels like you don't want to actually even communicate with this person, because by doing it, it draws this person back into your sphere. And you're doing well by yourself. You don't need this person. But they keep coming on in because they really want to be with you. That's what they're indicating here. So they're trying to up their game to come back. Because they see you as, there's nobody else. They see you as the one. But I mean, it's all fair in hindsight, because it feels like they even knew back then that you were the one, but they ran away from it because they were not mature enough to see it or even to connect with it. Okay? They were self-sabotaging. Because of past trauma is what they're giving me. Now, they want me to leave it there. So at the end of the day, if you're still stuck, because there is a question mark and I can only guide you with what they're giving me, the question mark still remains, but they want you to know your worth. However you proceed, you are deserving of a beautiful, happy, abundant future. Whether this person is in it or not, or you've chosen for them to be just a friend, that's totally down to you. We all have free will, but this person is trying to make the effort in some way, but it's slow progress. This person is slow to the slow. I mean, really like, whoa. How slow can someone go? Well, I mean, a snail, it feels like a snail will be faster than this person. Okay, earth energy there. And not every earth sign is slow. Just want to put that out there. They may have a placement though. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I know some Capricorns who are super fast. They make a decision, boom, they've done it, they've actioned it, they're on to the next. So it's not about the earthy energy being slow, but I'm just getting an energy from this person that they are very slow. Okay, we will leave it there. I'm just going to give you a Work Your Light Oracle card as final advice. Play, lighten up. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Well, that's what they got here, especially with that Ten of Wands in the reverse there. You're finally lightening up about the situation. You're having the freedom to say no, but they want you to lighten up about this, okay? In some way, there is some sort of celebration that happens. Maybe you're happy that you come together. Maybe it's let's bygones be bygones, let's be friends. Not sure if I can give you my heart yet, but let's see how things go. So It could be that, but we're going to read about it. This wonderful figure, she's in a champagne glass. How wonderfully decadent. And the sun is shining. So whatever, remember, you have the control over how you perceive things. Positivity is key and love is key. But ultimately, you're going to get the successful, abundant outcome, no matter which way you choose, because of the way that you lead yourself. And we will get the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Barry. Just get a card there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know? Any final advice before we close this reading? Be much appreciated. I'm grateful for the messages so far. Ooh, 2. Cheeky. We have Round and Round. Ain't that the truth? And we have the Thinker. So you know what I'm saying? This person is slow. But not just that, you're thinking about the situation, you're weighing things up. As you can see, it's number 44. 4 and 4, when it's reduced, it's 8, which is about strength, knowing your self-worth, keeping your boundaries high, and proceeding with courage. But 4s are also about foundations. Remember, this time round, if you decide to go back to this person, because we all have free will, creating solid foundations. There's been a lot of healing here. Building blocks for the future, they're just giving me. They need to be instated before you move forward. Interesting. They're also giving me a city here. They're giving me the city of Berlin. Very precise there. Sorry, I'm just going to take another look at this card. Yeah, Berlin. Okay, yeah, I understand. Yeah, so there's some sort of healing. There may be a connection with you or this person to Berlin. Perhaps this Berlin is one of their favorite cities, or yours, or you have a trip going there. Perhaps you booked it and it was cancelled, or you've just booked it. Something to do with Berlin. Perhaps you're from Berlin, or you want to move to Berlin. Maybe that's is some way figures in your choices. They're giving me Berlin for some reason, but they're also giving me there's some sort of memory attached to it. A face from the past, Berlin. Okay, we also have Round and Round, okay, which is number 25. When you reduce that, it's a Chariot card, number 7. Okay, so this is about action, taking action in order to make a change. So in order to move forward, something needs to change here. One of you need to take action. A choice has to be decided before you can move forward and either find somebody new or make this work. Either way, you will have a successful, happy outcome. So we're just going to read from the book because I wouldn't want to tell you anything wrong. Play. I always do major quickies for Scorpio, and they never are major quickies. I mean, every time you get all of the advice. So we have play, and it says, stop taking life so seriously. Your spirit needs to have some fun. The more you play, the more inspiration will follow. Take some time out to do something without being attached to the outcome. You're being called to rest and play and learn and have more fun. Do something that makes you laugh, the best medicine around. Call up a friend that you can be silly with. Take your inner child out on a date. The more you switch off your mind, the more room you have for spirits to whisper and guide. When we do things without being attached to the outcome, ideas, clarity, guidance, and solutions have the space to drop in. The left and right hemispheres of the brain can begin to talk to each other. Make play a compulsory part of your day. Schedule it. Spend more time doing things just because you love doing them, just because they bring you joy and lighten you up. If you follow what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. For when you are lit up, you are in your spirit. And when you're in your spirit, you fall into the flow with life. How do you play? What do you have to do to have fun? What lights you up? If you've been working hard lately, it's time to celebrate how far you've come. All you've achieved, don't rush on to the next thing. Take a moment to throw a party, go on vacation, or have some fun. But obviously do it safely because we're in COVID times. So, yeah, take that wonderful advice to lighten up. And remember, this partnership, if you're going into partnership and business with somebody as well, lighten up. Yes, you got to do the serious stuff, but it can be fun also. So we've got 25 Round and Round. The spiritual quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated. Cycles you're challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. So if you're going around in circles with this person from the past, this person that you felt you were always destined to be with and have a partnership with, I mean, you're being called to look at the patterns and to break those patterns in order to move forward, okay? Perhaps you just move forward as friends. Perhaps you cannot do that because sometimes, you know, it's hard. If you love somebody that much, you can't see, you can be happy that they move on and find love elsewhere, but unfortunately you cannot witness it because it's so painful that it wasn't you. So I totally understand that. So it says here in the relationship message, are you wondering, how did I get here again? Does something feel familiar right now in your dynamics with others? Maybe a too little familiar. Don't be surprised that you found yourself repeating an old story with the same sort of person who may not look similar, but who attracted you because of your easy acquaintance with his or her qualities. Your relationship is a mixture of what is good and what is potentially challenging. You have been drawn to this person through the perfection of Spirit's plan for your evolution. You may have circled back to an accustomed spot, a familiar place, but that's fine, as you get to do things again, only differently this time. For you learned something of great value since the last time round. How will you choose to behave now that you're aware? Remain curious and stay out of the blame game. If you're in a scenario that seems to be echoing something that's already happened in the past in your work life, it's because you're being invited to see what you couldn't see before. This is a perfect time for you to look at deeper motives that you have and your attraction to the opportunities and people who have entered your life to be part of your journey to prosperity. Who helps you navigate? Who sabotages you? Who supports you? What are the familiar signs and your responses to them? When you find yourself in a repeat pattern of the past, it's a good time to get a coach or mentor who can help you see what you can't on your own. Repeat what works, not what doesn't. Then you will free yourself from old cycles and cease going round and round. Okay, so right at the beginning I said we have the ability to be in control of how we perceive things and how we respond to things. Okay, so you see things from a different perspective. It's called ascension, so very important. And we have the thinker, strategy, being analytical and logical. Okay, that Aries Emperor card there. And it says, the ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct. For in this moment, there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple, and you will win the game of life that you're playing right now. Love is not logical, but when you choose a partner, it's good to have things in common rather than desire. This is the time to weigh up the pros and cons of your partnership. If there is enough common ground, go for it. If not, then there are other fish in the sea. Oh my gosh, did we not just say that at the beginning? I love it when Spirit does that. Don't force it to work. And should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in a fantasy. No matter what, in this case, the facts are the facts. Calculated action is called for now. It is important to sit down and plan that strategy. Focus on the steps that you're going to take to claim your to claim your prosperous life. Lists are your friend right now, so get out your journal, write down what you're going to do today, and signal to the universe that you're serious about attracting abundance. Your plans and strategies will yield wonderful results. Remember, your most effective strategy partner is Spirit. You will win this game, and your triumph will be for the highest good of all. Pow! Can I get another pow, Scorpio? Very powerful energy. Okay, we're just going to get a trinket before we go. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guide Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know? Woo! We have this beautiful angel. Really beautiful angel. Gorgeous design, but very simple. So again, connecting to Spirit. Keep it simple, but your guides are with you. Also, we have the angel wing. Okay, so double guides are like with you. You're being guided to where you're meant to be. You're guided and protected with this angel wing. Just so you can see that there. I hope you can see them because sometimes it blurs. But beautiful angel with you at this time. As I said, you're not alone. as I said right at the beginning here. So they're walking with you through this moment, and have walked with you even through the darkest of moments, even when you felt like you may have been alone. Where would you like this card? They want it on the Four of Wands. So creating this abundant life, this new creative phase for you, whatever opportunities are coming your way, going to be very successful in business, but also in love. Whichever decision you make, they just want you to be mindful of that, okay? But ultimately, stand in your power. And they're giving me the sentence, rejection is God's... Oh, wow. Normally, they give me rejection is God's protection, but they just gave me rejection is God's redirection. Wow. Okay. So if you decide, the indication they're giving me from this wing is if you decide not to partner up with this person from the past again, you're being redirected somewhere else that will also lead to a beautiful love that is so abundant and giving and kind and reciprocal, that don't worry. Whichever decision you make, it's like a win-win situation. Beautiful energy there. They want it on the Empress card. Know your worth. You're incredible, Scorpio. You bring the magic. You're very healing. You just, there's something about you people gravitate towards, and you are now allowing the universe to bestow you with gifts of abundance. You're surrendering to and co-creating with spirit. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, we will leave it there. I hope some of this resonated for some of you out there. Wow, okay, sorry, I just need to stop there because they're giving me an image of, now I can go and get my coffee. And I don't drink coffee, so now I can go get my coffee. So maybe someone who's just literally finishing this reading is like, well, now I'm going to go get my coffee. They're actually showing me someone making quite a precise coffee. It's like, I mean, it could be a cappuccino or a latte because it's got some sort of foam on top. It's something that you make yourself. They're even giving me the smell of it now. Wow, maybe I should start drinking coffee. It smells amazing. So if that's you, then there's something in this message for you. Or if you have just said that and done that before this reading, I know that's an obvious thing to say. Because everybody, you know, when they go and get a reading, sometimes they settle down with a drink of some sort. But there is this energy of like, now I've got to go get a coffee. Like you've been really busy doing something and you've now prioritized like 20 minutes to take some time out for you. Anyway, we'll move on from that. If that's you, there's something in this message for you. If this message resonated for you, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell. Apparently that's important. It lets you know when I update my next message, and it lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is very, very important for me. I recently had some problems with that bell. It was graded out, but I've sorted out the technical issues, so you can now press that bell. As I said, it's completely free. It just updates you and me that this reading is kind of working for you and you would like to hear another reading in the future. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, we'll leave it there. Love and light.